All right, what is going on, my dudes? We are back here today with another sensational super synergy video. This one's going to be on Nebula. Now, Nebula is an interesting one because there are many different ways that you can build a very solid team around her. It could be whether you want to go for a special 3 focused Nebula or just a special 2 nuke, or maybe you want to go for a bit of a balance, or maybe you want to go for a mega nuke with her against just like a boss fight or something like that, or you want to have fun against Winter Soldier and just pre-fight the heck out of her, right? So there's lots of things that we can do, but the main primary focus of this video is going to be showcasing this new synergy with this team right over here. So Omega Sentinel came out, and she has a synergy with Nimrod here, robots, plus 5% combat power rate for each shock on the opponent, max 50%. So that's pretty decent, man. Right? Especially for Nebula, because 10 shocks, and then you have plus 50% combat power rate. Now, Nebula with Proxima starts with 10 shocks on the defender. If you run the Suicide Masters, Nebula with Guillotine 2099 starts with almost a full bar of power. Now, what is usually the downside to Nebula, right? If you parry, you lose all your shocks. And that's a very valid criticism for her, right? But today we're actually going to use that mechanic to our advantage. Now, she's always had a solid special 3 rotation, but there's still the thing of getting there, right? So we have a SIG 20 Nebula here, so we're getting an additional 12% combat power rate with a shock on the defender, but right away, parrying, ooh, right away, dude. Right out of the gate, we're parrying, and check it out, man. We're already at 2 bars of power, 10 hits into the fight, okay? So we're already super duper close to a special 3, right? Look how quick that was. So that is definitely much improved, that cycle going up to the special 3, you know, with this team right here. Now keep in mind, Winter Soldier has about 550,000 health, right? So now what we're gonna do is, we're going to be building up our shock charges, putting more shocks on Winter Soldier, all the while increasing our combat power rate, okay? So the goal here at this point is to build up to a special 2, which is going to be very easy to do with this new synergy. Look at how fast that was. Put more shocks on him, go for the special 2, and essentially it's special 3, special 2, very casually, and just dead. That's it, right? So yeah, now she can do that, obviously, you know, on her own without a synergy team. But the thing is, you get to that first initial special 3 and then back up to the special 2 so much faster. Because when you have 10 shocks in the defender, you have plus 50% additional combat power rate, which is really good. And not only just for a special 3 focus, if we look at the Deadpool in 6.4.1, again, the downside, criticism, whatever you want to call it, of Nebula is that, you know, even with this trio, if you run the Suicide Masters, right, you start right under a bar of power. And it's like, all right, well, now I have to build up to just under 2 bars of power, right? But now it's like, no, I can have a lot of power remaining, and that's it. That is it. You see? So it doesn't look like much. It doesn't look like much there. But the ability to start that combo and parry into a special 2 with that much extra wiggle room is actually quite nice. Because if you do run the Suicide Masteries and you do bring Proxima and Guillotine 2099 along with you, you pretty much have to do 1.5 combos before you go for your special 2, which will mitigate your block damage that you have to take. It'll mitigate, you know, the intercepts that you have to do if you don't go for the block damage. It just makes her a little bit easier, a little bit faster. Now, we're going to go ahead, show off one more team here before we move on to some real content using the team that I built. And I'm going to show you another team as well in that content. So this is the team, right? That's you know, going to give her a mega nuke on the special 2. We have War Machine pre-fights here that are going to extend their duration. okay? Extend the duration of her shocks. Also increase her attack rating. Now we have Mr. Fantastic debuffs here. That's going to increase the damage over time debuffs by 25% and also reduce the combat power rate while hitting the defender, okay? And also we have Guardian here. Now Guardian is a great synergy member, okay? And if you don't run the Suicide Masteries, he is the champion that I would sub in for Guillotine 2099 on the original 5-person team, all right? The reason being is that when you gain a charge with Guardian, you are going to pause all of the shocks on the defender, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about in just a second if you haven't seen it with Nebula here, okay? So, essentially, what I want to do here is build up to my 20 charges, okay? And now, after we knock him down for a little bit of safety here, check it out. I'm going to go for a slow combo here, and we're going to turn those 21 shocks into 42. And now look at how they pause for like a slight second each time, right? And look at that. He's pretty much dead from just the one special two. Gotta poke him a little bit. Give him a little poke, okay? So yeah, that's like the super mega SP2 nuke with Nebula. You obviously can't do this on like every fight on a path, and that's because you only have so many War Machine pre-fights, you only have so many Mr. Fantastic pre-fights, right? Now you can definitely bring that in for like, you know, if you do fights with Mr. Fantastic and War Machine, then yeah, you could do it more times, of course. But you can get like up to 2 without using War Machine, which is like still pretty decent, right? If you're using her like, you know, casually for questing and stuff like that. But when it comes to like actually questing, I prefer this well-rounded team here, right? Because all 5 of these champions are very good and cover different ground actually, right? So we're gonna go ahead and look at Thunderstruck here. Thunderstruck, okay? So again, another Deadpool, right? Another Deadpool. And this is what I like about this team so much here is because it allows me to get to that special 2 just very, very quickly and very easily, okay? So look, one combo, I took a little bit of block damage, right? I'm seeing my power, I'm like, okay, I gotta get like one more little combo in, just 15 shocks, we're not even fully ramped up. Our shock damage is going to be increased on Thunderstruck, 30 shocks, like it's absolutely nothing, done. Done. So, when I made this team, what I had in mind was that special 3 rotation, right? So why don't we check out that special 3 rotation against Venom the Duck here? Because Venom the Duck is cosmic, I don't think that one special 2 is going to kill him, right? Then he'll be like unblockable because of the nodes and everything like that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do exactly what we did against that first Winter Soldier fight, and we're going to go ahead and use the increased combat power. See, we're already at 2 bars of power. All right, increased combat power rate to gain all the way to a special 3 much, much faster. So we're pretty much already there. At this point, we got to bait out a special 2 from Venom the Duck here, okay? And then it's pretty much game over for this guy. So right here, boom, parry into special 3. We got the special 3 skip active to make it all go that much faster. And now every time we hit the opponent, we can put shocks on him. He's being a little passive guy. Come on, dude. Throw the special attack. There we go. Thank you. I put the shocks on him at the beginning there. All right. And now we're building up our amp charges and putting shocks on Venom the Duck. Okay. We're making our way up to a special 2. And look at that. The synergy let us get there with the amount of power that we had and 44 shocks like it's nothing. Absolutely nothing, man. So now I mentioned building a bit of like a hybrid team, right? So it's going to make her good for like everything in general, but this is like kind of old, right? This still has like the trio of Nebula, Guillotine, and Proxima, which has always been like the Nebula trio, right? Even before her buff. And the Guardian, we already went over what the Guardian synergy does. It pauses those shocks whenever you gain an amp charge or whatever they're called, right? And then with Gamora here, that's going to make our first special 2 guaranteed critical, which is definitely nice, right? So this is another solid team that's going to make her a little bit better against like that Venom the Duck. But you're gonna see right here, right? So we can't like have like an easy breezy time building up our power. We're gonna have to go for like, you know, a little bit more power than we had to against the last one. So we're taking some more block damage, getting a little more power there. Now we're over half of that second bar, right? Just enough. There we go. But this is going to completely destroy him just as well, right? I actually prefer the other synergy team for the defenders that I'm going to be killing with the special 2, right? Or that I can kill with the one special 2 against the cosmic defenders here, like Venom the Duck. This is where this team is going to be very clutch, because that Guardian synergy is going to be very, very nice. Okay, so let's check it out. The whole thing here is that Guardian is going to be able to extend the duration of the damage over the time, essentially, right? So we're building up even more shock charges here against Venom the Duck. Let's see if we can get a parry off before he goes unblockable. Nope, gotta wait a second, but that's okay. We have 20 of our charges up. Let's go for it, all right? Boom. Special 2, guaranteed crit. That's a nice synergy, by the way. And yeah, this guy is just flushed right down the toilet, right? So for those cosmic defenders, I definitely like that team. But now we're gonna go back to the new team and we're gonna see how Nebula does for some more of this path, man. You know, and this is one of the more annoying paths in all of Act 6. So to see her like literally destroying these defenders in less than 20 hits with 2 different synergy teams, that's pretty cool to me, man. You know, I think that it's just pretty cool, you know? So here, we're gonna go ahead, parry, go in, special 2 against Cable. He's completely unblockable. We do not even care because he's just flushed right down the toilet. No Guardian synergy. We don't need it right there. So we'll watch a little bit more of this here. We'll watch a little bit more of this path. It's like she was made for the path. Something like that, or the path was made for her, right? So another cosmic champion here. We're going right in with the parry and taking advantage of the increased combat power rate. All right, got the champion going for special 1s right into our block here. We're going to counter with a heavy attack so we can put more shocks on and gain combat power rate. So you guys know me, I love combat power rate. I love that Mojo synergy that gives everybody plus 7% offensive combat power rate. I feel like it makes fights much more enjoyable when you're just gaining that power at that expedited rate. So that's one thing that was really appealing to me when I saw that synergy, right? On Nimrod, right? Back when it was like still a question mark there. But yeah, it's pretty good, man. Look at how fast we're getting to the special, back to the special 2. Because after the special 3, you pretty much always have those max shocks unless they're getting super passive and weird like this guy's getting right here, right? And by the time you get back to a special 2, after that special 3, nothing is surviving that special 2. One of my favorite nodes to use Nebula on is clapback, and this makes her even more enjoyable on clapback, because essentially what you want to be doing here is bouncing these shocks back and forth. So I place 10 on Sabretooth. I already have 5 charges back on myself, 5 more on Sabretooth, 5 more on myself. But as you can see, look at my power, man. My power rate is just through the roof compared to normally here. So it just makes getting to that first special 2 so much quicker. I can go to the special 1 if I want to. Look at that, no power on Sabretooth there, right? Already a super overpowered counter to clapback. Now even better with this synergy here, because it just lets you get to the special 2 so much faster, making you just that much stronger for the node, you know? And that's the whole point of these sensational synergy videos. It's pretty much, it's usually champions who are, you know, decent good for things, really good for things. Like Nebula is an exception here. She's usually better than the other ones, you know, on her own for certain things. But the synergy team just like takes her to like that new height, little thing, you know, getting to the special 2 just a little bit faster, man. Can make the fights just go that much faster and make it that much more enjoyable, you know? Especially if you're going to want to be using her for like every fight on the path, you know? Bringing along Nimrod and Omega Sentinel is not the worst thing to do. 2 really good champs here. So we'll do one more fight here. We'll show Stealthy here. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. So If you don't know why this is happening here, clapback essentially places debuffs that you put on the defender back onto the attacker. However, Nebula is immune to shock, and then she gains the, amp charges, EMP charges, whatever they're called, every time she would get one. See, look at right there, boom. I did not have enough power to get to this special 2 normally, right? But this synergy allowed it to happen, which I just love. I think it's great. I think it's a lot of fun. Look at all those shocks. Look at all those shocks, man. We got shocks for days here. So, yeah, what I love about Nebula is that she is a very versatile champion. There are many things that she can do, right? And there's many things that she can do that are not shown in this video. She can go for, like, pretty great power lock rotations, right? Where you can go for like heavy chains in the corner, focusing on the special one. The point of this, I just wanted to show off this new synergy, essentially was the point of this video. It seemed like a fun way to do so, but that's going to be it for this one. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop your boy a big ol' like. Let me know what you think about Nebula in the comment section below, and tell me the synergy teams that you've made for Nebula yourselves that you usually run with her in the comment section below, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos just like this coming to you in the future. I'll be seeing you around.